What's up, Lounge Legions? How are you?
You know?
Welcome to another Legions Lounge. Got a little background music here going on. What do you think of that?
Yeah, right.
You like
I
it?
like it.
Right? A little feature here.
Right on.
My name is Trevor. I'm 1/6 shooter on the socials. Below us is Bill at the Doorclair or Doorclair on the socials, and right next to me over here, Bait Strong at Corona4 on the socials.
What is happening?
How you guys doing?
Excellent. How are you
Good.
guys?
Grooving to this, man. This is good.
Right on.
It's nuts. I got to
I
turn
like
off the
it.
loop. We'll be listening to this forever. I got to turn off the loop.
I got we're getting some of our usuals in the chat here,
Yeah.
but I got to start off with Scott Baker. It's so funny. He says, "So ready for this episode of Dork Legion's Lair Lounge." Right?
Yeah, and you can bring those up now, Nate. So if you see somebody, I think both of you guys can bring up the chat. So if you see something, say something.
Just click on it or what?
Oh, I was grooving to that. I was kind of digging that. Well,
That was
whatever.
kinda cool. But yeah, so that's funny, Scott. Hey to Dave Orkin, Motu Guru, Jay, Hedgehog, Adrian,
Dog.
Fabians, Bryce. What's happening, guys? Thanks for joining.
Thanks for coming on. We got a really good show tonight, man. This is gonna be fun. You know it's gonna be fun. All right, we're gonna get some. Let's get some news out of the way. How are you guys doing? You guys good?
Great. Yeah, real good.
Let's
2 weeks flew by, you know.
talk a little bit because this is our first piece of news. So we may as well talk about like what you guys picked up. You know, reinforcements weekend.
Yes.
And I think as of last, I haven't looked in the last hour, but I think we still got goblins and skellies and
Dwarves.
dwarves still left.
Yep.
Yes.
It's
Yep, all
shocking.
three.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
I
that
know.
they ordered more of those than anything else. And that's the reason that those are at least the dwarves, I would think. I don't know.
Why I thought I heard that they bought even numbers of everything, but maybe I misheard that.
Did you hear that?
but
I haven't
thought
confirmed
so,
that. I
but-
didn't talk to Chris about numbers, so I don't know. I was in the dark about that too.
Yeah.
But I know everybody was kind of go down to 70 dwarves.
Okay.
Thanks, Guillermo.
Yeah, and I was
Those
I
will
don't
be
know
gone tonight.
how
Oh, yeah, they're
how
done.
accurate this is, but I was sort of keeping track that
Mhm.
on Saturday the Black Knight sold out around 4:30, 4:40.
Sounds about right.
Templar made it till about 7:15.
Mhm.
Barbarian about an hour later, 8:15. The Orc was gone next Sunday morning at 9, and then Sir Gerard was right after that, 9:30, and then he popped back on for like a second, and people went crazy, and then he was gone again.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that
Everything
was-
has kind of like reappeared. I think they've, had, cards that declined and things like that probably, and they popped those back in at different times.
Right.
Because I've heard a few different ones that have popped back in, so I'm assuming at least everything has had a little bit of but it's probably only a handful at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
64
is
left.
interesting. It must, like you said, it must be either like some cancellation. Well, there's no cancellations though.
Somebody might have ordered more than 12 the night before, or
It's possible, and they just set those back into the circulation.
Yep.
That's true.
Some
yeah.
people had the
True.
cart issues where they,
Mhm.
the cart doesn't refresh, and then they hit their order not realizing it, and then they look back, and then they
Yep.
email and they cancel.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different reasons why.
Yeah,
that would happen.
that's a weird glitch. I mean, I gotta say, the checkout experience on that has been fantastic. Ever since they switched over from whatever system they were using before to Shopify, I think is what they're using.
Night and day difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because that was a nightmare too, man. Back in the day,
Yeah.
back in some of those early
Door
waves,
envy, I think.
oof, that was bad.
Yeah.
But it is a much better experience than Mezco, that's for sure.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
it is that is the one weird thing, that there is a glitch that sometimes I'll come in, weeks later, and there'll be stuff in my cart from the last
Mhm.
sale
Yeah.
that I got to clear
You
out.
just
or
have to
whatever.
kind of like know about it and adjust it.
Know to look for it. Yeah.
And basically what you have to do is go to your cart, change your numbers, hit refresh a couple times, then kind of go out of it and back in and hit refresh a couple times, and then make sure it's like what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
I don't know, Jill.
man, it was smooth.
I think you grab a credit card, my friend.
Yeah.
You gotta
But
PayPal.
Yeah, I kind of went in sort of with the same mentality, just because I'm sort of conditioned to that. It was an ISS, and I frickin' flew through it. Was in and out in literally 2 minutes, and it was, again, my brain was, kind of conditioned to that. That I got to the checkout and I had one extra figure that I was just like, oh fuck it, and I checked out anyways because I was like, I'm just used to that, right? And plenty of time. I could have went back and adjusted that, but and of course, the big, the big surprise was Sir Gerard showing up, so that threw a bunch of people a little bit for a loop, but so cool. Yeah, so
he's the man himself.
Right on, Chris. What's up, buddy? Yeah, so it's funny because I was in and out, and I was texting with our guest Mike Casper while it was going on, and then I jumped in the car, and I was actually on my way down to Ohio, and we were chatting on the phone, and he's talking to me. I was just texting with Chris earlier too, but Mike and I were chatting, and he's like, "Man, how many Sir Gerards did you get? Because this is going to be the last time they're in." And I'm like, "I got 2, but maybe I should have got more." And damn it, and I'm driving. I hand my son the phone, and I'm like, "Bennett, here's the address. Type in, like, here's what you do." As I'm driving, so I put a couple more in my cart and got out, but it was worth paying a little bit extra shipping.
Chris said there were lots of hints on Sir Gerard, so I don't know, man. If Bill didn't pick up on them, I don't know, and nobody else.
I'll
did.
tell you this though, it's been super busy at work, and I haven't been I've been pumping my YouTube like crazy, so I haven't been in the Cabal like as active. So I just probably didn't see a lot of them. But I didn't know for sure. I mean, I had heard the rumors and stuff, but I didn't know for sure.
I didn't see it either, and I didn't know until a couple days before. But and my first instinct was, I didn't call Chris on this, but I was like, I was wondering how people would take that. You know what I mean? Because I know that when everything was laid out as to here's what's going to be in the sale, and everybody's got their lists and they're figuring out down to the dollar, like, okay, I've got a budget of this, and I've got 3 goblins and I want 4. And now you throw that wrench in there, like, oh shit, what do I take out? I got to get a couple Sir Gerards. But I got to say, for all the toy drama about and some of it was tongue in cheek, I think, on the Cabal about Evergreen, but I didn't see a lot of complaints about this. I think everybody had plenty of time, and you still have time to get some. And
I know lots of people went back in, and
nobody was complaining about. I mean, I think everybody was happy that Sir Gerard was out there. Despite not knowing ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I just keep pinching myself from remembering these are in stock. We're getting these in 2-3 weeks. It's not like this was a big order we just put in. We have to wait a year. Like, they'll be here soon, and I am so damn excited for them.
And I gotta say, it was kind of genius to put Sir Gerard in there and not have Sir Gerard on its own sale. Just thinking about personally what I would have done if there was a separate sale a few weeks from now or a month from now, and it was just Sir Gerard, I probably would have gotten 6, or I would have gotten the max, probably maybe not 12, but you know what I mean? I would have gotten a bunch of them. But I only got a couple, and I think I ended up with 4. I dipped back in for 2, but if it dropped on its own, it would have been one of those instant sellouts, or at least close. It would have gone really, really fast. I think if there wasn't all this other stuff going on around it with it. So I think it was smart to do that. It gave everybody a chance to get it. I mean, that one lasted till the next day.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Yeah, that was I was surprised it lasted that long, but it was great. You guys, so you got everything you were happy with?
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, we'll talk about that when we bring our guests on.
Cool.
Because I want to know what they got too. So maybe we'll just kind of do a round of what'd you get.
Sure. Well, it looks with Chris on and talking about rumors, that could be our segue.
Well, there's from the straight poop right there. I'm never going to see Gerard again, fellas. So
okay,
there you go.
I'm glad I went back in. I'm glad Mike talked me back into going in.
Yeah, I went back and got some more myself. Just basically because of that head. You know what I mean? That bonus head is going to be great on skeletons.
Yeah, big time.
I love the skellies. So
yeah.
I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint my first. I've never painted a You know, the cloth
Okay.
style torso.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do an all black one and put the head with an all black.
Yes,
like
that'd be
the Sir
killer.
Gerard torso, but I'm not gonna. I'll
Yeah.
paint a Templar, but like the Sir Gerard torso painted all black with that head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
That's
I did
gonna
that for
killer.
a death dealer custom that I've yet to finish. But yeah, it looks great. I love that. I love that for that. It's a great torso. All right, we'll come back to reinforcements because there's still a lot to talk about when I want to talk about that with our guests, among other things.
Yep.
Just quickly, couple things. All-Star campaign campaign season has apparently started. We're already starting to see that popping up on the Cabal.
The question is, are the 4 horsemen starting to prepare for it? Because
I don't know.
I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah,
Based on the latest videos.
And yet, campaign season has started. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the straight poop will give us an insight to that. I doubt it. It's possible.
Well, speaking of straight
but it
poop,
is fun. It is fun to see the campaigns already starting. Although people are, I mean, they're also doing the head pack campaigns too. Which let's put this out there right now. You're not in either one of those. You're not getting Otho. So just like stop. Don't waste your time. It's not happening.
Yeah, and I mean, so many people are putting in heads that exist, and I get that, but we're hoping for heads with new expressions, people.
That's what I really want to see. I know we're going to get a few, we're going to get a few existing heads, but I really want to see
different paint apps, maybe,
some new expressions. I really want expressions.
We need
That's
that.
really what I want. I want
for sure.
I need Hadriana like screaming. She's already mean, but I really want
battle face.
Yeah, we want some battle faces for sure. What was it? I was going to offer Otho until Trevor said no. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Otho dreams crushed.
So speaking of the straight poop and putting dropping hints and rumors, we saw at the end of the email, Bill, you said you had pulled up. It was a mention about Groundhog's Day.
Is it Groundhog's Day yet?
Chris, what's the straight poop? We're speculating.
As always. I mean, when is Groundhog's Day?
Like 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe
February 2nd.
Maybe Groundhog's Day. Where did that come? That came in a Poxus email? Is that what you said, Bill?
Yeah. It was in the final call for the last call for Poxus.
Maybe the Poxus will open up again and you'll get to do that. All right, it's Groundhog's Day, right? We'll do everything all over again.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ned Ryerson?
What's that?
Wasn't that in the Groundhog's Day? Ned Ryerson?
Nice.
Ned Ryerson?
Groundhog figure obscura. Hey.
That'd be pretty cool. I would take that. I'd be down with that.
Repaint of Krampus, head pack, All-Stars 5. Guesses are flying.
I mean, there was talk of another Krampus, so
yeah, could be hitting retailers then.
Yeah.
You could there's a little groundhog in the basket this time.
There you go.
They're pretty cool.
And if we see a shadow, he'll come with an extra head.
So maybe on Groundhog's Day, because the theme is shadow. Like, does the groundhog see its shadow? Maybe we're gonna get a whole wave of shadow characters. It'll be like the old themed waves they used to do, and this will just be all like shadow orcs, shadow elves, shadow whatever.
Wow, you like the X-Files?
I like what you're thinking.
Way too deep. Way too deep. All right, is there any other news?
Well,
Nate, you had a couple things. Right?
I was just gonna say, congrats to Curtis. He won the Matt O'Toole Dwarf. That was for the Justin Johnson family.
That's awesome. Congrats.
So that's super cool, man. Curtis, this is the year of Curtis. He won the Dwarf. He's dropping the big LBs. He's working big time hard, so we can all give him a giant hug at Legions Con.
Awesome.
And he just got hit on. At the gym in the spa, I think. So he's having a good year.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Good for you, Curtis. Everything's coming up, Curtis, man. It's it's the year of Curtis.
Year of the Curtis, yeah.
Year of Curtis. Good for you. That's great. And I saw that Mackenzie Johnson actually got the figure that who won that? Oh God, I'm sorry, I forgot who won that.
The Horsemen figure.
Credit. Yeah, if you could look that up for me.
I can't.
But that finally got to her along with the photo, and she had posted that up on the. Oh, you know what? Let me just put that up here. We can share that. I wonder if that is up on the Kings Under the Mountain fan page as well. That's not sure personal.
While you're searching, I should give an update. The Straight Poop says, great idea on the shadows, but not even close. Now, that seems like, shooting down my my theory, but what that does is it confirms to me that there's something going on for Groundhog.
Right? See
not even close to what we got planned for Groundhog's Day is the finishing of that sentence. So something's
exactly.
There you go.
See how we just played you, Chris. We fell right into our trap.
Up and down like a fiddle, man. Played. Curtis is the man. Where's dwarves?
I'm not.
Hans. Oh, that's right. Hans. Thank you, and thank you, Anthony. Hans won it, and Hans was, again, wasn't necessary, but he did donate it to Mackenzie, which is very nice of him, including the picture that I sent to him. That was supposed to go to Hans, so he sent that over to her, and that's great. It's really nice, and she put some pictures of the kids up there, looking happy, which is good. It's good to see. I mean, it's
it's be tough for a long time. So anytime they can get a smile on their face.
But anything that any little thing that can make them happy is
for sure. Yeah.
Chris, you're full of shit.
Thank you, Chris.
You got a bone?
Yeah, it's the left
leg bones
femur?
Attached to
the left leg I needed.
Oh.
My tibius had two right legs.
And that's funny.
For Horsemen customer service hooked it up and sent me a replacement leg.
And that is probably a tibia, or is that a femur?
It's a femur.
It's a femur. Tibia is lower.
Funny,
right?
I just hit Chris up right before we got on to looking for a missing piece. So they are the best.
Yeah, that was amazing of Hans. Great to do.
Yep.
All right, I think that's our news. So let's get into this. Let's have some fun because we're 20 minutes in, and I told these guys it would be about 15 minutes. So our guest tonight, despite Bill and I bringing federal legal action against the name of their show, we actually really do enjoy their show, which airs on the Mythic Legions Cabal Facebook group. I think it's every other week. I think they just
usually Tuesday nights. Yeah.
Noah Pratt on there last Tuesday, right?
Yep.
So should be next week, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow.
Yep.
I got to meet these guys during the weekend last year. They were a lot of fun. We went to dinner, thanks to Ish, got us into Cheesecake Factory, table for like 20. It was ridiculous. Just fantastic guys. Great show. Fun to be around. Let's bring them on. Brad Jones.
Hey.
Mike Casper.
Welcome, guys. Yes.
What's going on, guys?
Woo!
Bradley, are you
Not only
pumped?
did they steal the name, they, I used to do an Arnold impression on the IG show. Remember, Nate? I used to do that all the time, and Brad just totally copycat, and he does it better.
Yep.
So I'm going to let it slide, but
Arnold is pumped. Yeah, damn you. You get ready.
Damn you! Damn you! Look at you! That's a beautiful figure.
Thank you.
Man, I got to tell you guys what, I'm a little lost here because usually Brad's sitting right next to me.
I know, right? Oh, you're right next to me.
This side.
But I'll make it through.
All right. So,
Yeah,
how you guys
great
doing?
to have you guys.
I really appreciate you guys being here because it sounds like it was a tough day. There's a lot of snow in Ohio today, and Brad is particularly freezing right now, I guess. I'm surprised he doesn't have a sweater on.
Yeah, I think the house went down to 63 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, put a sweater on, for God's sake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a sweater on, but I had to put my Cabal on. I was like,
All right, we've seen it.
I'm toughing it out for you guys.
Yeah. Okay. We've seen it. Check the box. Now go get a sweatshirt.
Yeah, really. Keep yourself
It's
warm.
actually not too bad in here.
That's good.
But yeah, I found out a few hours ago that the furnace isn't working.
I've had that happen. You got about you can get through the night. It'll be good. You'll wake up and it'll be freezing tomorrow. But
Yeah, I was YouTubing a lot of videos before this, trying to figure out. I figured out the problem, but yeah, we got to wait.
The problem is
tomorrow.
you spent too much money on the reinforcements, and it's okay. I feel you.
Luckily, luckily it says it's only a $20 part. So.
Oh, good. And his family would be sleeping warm tonight if he didn't have to be on this stupid show.
What's the outside temp?
I don't know.
It's cold tonight.
Probably 10, 13.
Oh my God!
If that, I think it's cold as heck.
I could look real quick.
I think we're in the single digits.
Yeah.
Oh damn,
tough,
man!
Tough night to be out without heat.
Good Lord! There's no 24-hour plumbing supply places that you can get that part.
So that's not good.
Wow. So I got a lot of things I want to talk to you guys about, but let's just jump back into reinforcements talk and do a little round robin and see what. Yeah, we don't need a complete list, but what did everybody go heavy on? I'm interested in that. Like Brad, what did you go in on?
I maxed
Everything
out,
12.
Yeah, I maxed out of the Templars. So I got 12 of those. I was hoping that they would last 24 hours so I could get more.
Wow.
But they didn't. And I feel like I got what I wanted. And
Okay.
I really only wanted 10, but it was like me and Mike had a number. Yeah, I think our number was like each like 720.
Okay.
But once we got in there, it changed the
So Sir Gerard
and-
yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm like, all right, minus this, 2 added that,
Right.
minus this, add
I don't
1.
need any
Oh,
goblin.
Gerard's Jesus Christ, add 2 of those. It was,
Honey,
yeah,
we're eating bologna all week,
That's right.
all month.
yeah. So
Cold
720 turned
bologna.
to close to 1,000.
Yeah.
Just
real
keep the
quick.
heat off.
Yeah, that's why we're freezing right now. We're eating ramen noodles and.
So,
Arnold
Brad,
is
what do you got?
starving, goddamn you! He's starving.
I didn't know you were that big into Templars.
I didn't either. What do you got planned? What's the plans for 12 Templars?
Actually, seeing Greg on the show from Four Horsemen, I seen his display with his dioramas with all his Templars, and of course, I seen him that night at the Cheesecake Factory. They were very tempting then, but when we actually got to see them, they're definitely amazing. But I figure, a lot of kit bashing and hopefully some more Nikki heads or some other custom heads from Legions Con in the future or whatnot.
Right on. Heard,
We'll see.
the God's Fire series, they're good with the Templars.
Yeah. I was about to say they kind of go. I've seen people put orc heads on them. I mean, they kind of go. It's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, they're super versatile.
Yeah, I'm digging them.
Good for some dead knights
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that too. Yep.
So 12 Templars. What else did you go big on?
I think the next one was probably 5 Black Knights, and I got I think 5 Barbarians.
Yeah,
Wow.
I went big on the barbarians.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, at this point, we're lucky to have gotten them at this time, so I don't think we'll ever see them again. So
Yeah.
and
At least for a while. Yeah.
yeah.
at least for
Well,
a while.
I mean, it's like after spending a couple $100 on one of those things to get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was. I did get one in an in-stock sale at one point. I don't know how. And then I spent some money on the second one, and I'm like, God, I mean, that made it so much easier to spend $55 on that.
Right. Yeah.
So,
No
but,
doubt.
yeah,
No
and
doubt.
I definitely want some more barbarians. They're great.
And
What about
after,
you,
I
Mike?
think, Mike, what'd you get?
Well, I went my highest figure. I had 2 that were 5 each. I went 5 Black Knights and I went 5 Sir Gerards. And funny story is, I'm in there. I talked with Nate and Brad before it, and I'm like, I just got to go fast. I got to go fast. This is an in-stock sale. So I'm like throwing them in, and I get down to the bottom screen. I still have to go, I think, the orc and the skeleton, and I see Sir Gerard. And blinders just went on to Sir Gerard. I just forget it. And I actually thought about getting Sir Gerard, 5 Sir Gerards in there, whatever I had in my cart, and getting the hell out. You know?
Really? Yeah.
But we're conditioned to think that way a little bit, you know?
Yeah. So 5 Black Knights, 5 Sir Gerards were my most figures.
Yeah. That's a good one. The Black Knights, obviously, that was the first one out. And so I was surprised that was. It's a great looking figure. I guess I'd seen it in stock sales for a while, so I don't know. I was surprised that was the first one out. I really was. But having said that, I got a bunch of those. Probably, I think I went heavy on those. No, I got 3 because I have a couple already. 5 barbarians. I went big on the orcs. I got a lot of heads. Yeah, I got a lot of like extra heads that I'm painting up and stuff. So. Yeah, I got to have them have something to put them on. So I did that. Goblins were my least. I got some dwarves because I've got a couple custom dwarf heads and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I probably averaged out about like 5 or 6 per, something like that. Yeah, kept it fairly even. I went back and I did get a second order. I only ordered, I think, 1 Sir Gerard, and I don't know why. I guess I was just, I don't know. I have 2, so I'm like, 1's enough. Like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, no, right. I went back and got 3 more. So,
yeah.
What'd you get, Nate?
I got, I went heavy on barbarians, Black Knights, and Sir Gerards were my big 3. And then I picked up a couple Templars, a dwarf, and a
dwarf.
I got a dwarf. Yeah,
Anthony is not.
I know.
Happy with you.
I know. Sorry, Anthony. Trust me. I've been rethinking that, but I skipped the. I was actually right when this came out. I was so excited for the orc. I think, oh my god, I'm going to go big on him. And then I realized I got quite a few Vorthogs. And then I went and checked my orders, and I've got like 3 of the ones coming in from Tactics.
Yes, the deluxe orc is going to be epic.
Yeah, so I think between my Vorthogs and that orc order, I'm going to be covered. So I was happy to be able to put those numbers into something else. So
that's a good thought because I completely forgot about that, and I have
the Tactics
a ton coming from that.
Yeah. Well,
so yeah, look for those to be on sale on the Cabal.
But I think I can't remember if it was on Jeremy's show, but he was sort of hinting that, we thought, last time actually we were all talking, we were sort of speculating like, okay, how long are these going to be around? Once they sell out, what's the next window for when they're going to be back in stock? Are they going to do a different wave and then bring these back, whatever? So, but it sounds like, as of right now, that they're not going to be back till sometime next year, maybe. So that was another impetus into kind of loading up the cart a little bit bigger than I probably would have if, thinking they're going to be back in stock in, say, 6 months or something. So
yeah, they might be. I have no idea. Honestly, I love not having inside information. So like, I don't know if it's going to be a rotation and they're going to be doing another set of Legion builders and then maybe bring these back next year or what's going to happen. No idea yet. Yeah. Beyond what they've said, I haven't really pressed because I want to talk about this stuff and speculate without sitting here twiddling my thumbs while you guys talk
right.
About it. So.
Bill, how about you? What'd you pick up?
I went heavy on the Black Knight. I ended up with 7, and I actually dipped back in. It's funny. I sold something in the midst of it and kind of restocked my funds so that I could buy more.
Nice.
But yeah, all said and done, I got 7 Black Knights. The funny thing is, initially I had my initial order planned out. I was gonna get two barbarians, 4 Black Knights, 3 of the dwarves, and I think that was it. That was my whole order. And then Gerard showed up, and I readjusted. I put 2 Gerards in and took 1 of each of everything else out, and that was my first order. So I only ended up with 1 barbarian, but I have 2 already.
Oh, okay.
And 2. I got 2 dwarfs, and yeah, that's it. Oh, and I got 4 Sir Gerards.
Okay.
Nice.
Good.
It's good order.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just looking like I guess Ish has got the straight poop sending his stuff out pretty soon. Better get mine. Toy page over at check out the toy page on YouTube. He's got a great Mezco channel and a Mezco group, 112 collectors. And here's what makes me feel better about my crew order. He's talking about the Nautilus crew.
Yeah,
Those
got
videos.
it.
One of the collectors.
On some of his orders.
Yeah.
That's a lot pricey that way though, man. These are $25 a piece.
But yeah, what a great set.
So, all right, you guys. You're both from Ohio, obviously. You're both snowed in right now. Did you know each other before the Cabal, before Mythic Legions, before you did? You were friends before all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I met Mike down at the Summit County Jail.
In what capacity were you at the jail?
Moon River.
Yeah. I took a job which was kind of like a corrections officer kind of. I wasn't a deputy, but I took inmates to gym and watched them in gym and to church and
Okay.
stuff like that. I passed out their commissary and did stuff like that. Well, that's where I met Mike, was at work. But it was funny at that time. I didn't know Mike. I didn't collect toys at that time.
Oh, really?
I
At all?
think Mike was into Star Wars. I knew he was big into Star Wars collector and He-Man, but I didn't know that he was as big as what he was.
Mm-hmm. So how did you guys hit it off? It wasn't like other things.
It was actually funny because I got into toy collecting, so I started going around to all the local toy stores just to browse or look at stuff.
The executive producer is chiming in here with some color commentary.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And he kicks some ass. He kicks some damn Arnold ass down there. No, he's a good dude. Definitely a good dude. But yeah, so I just happened to show up at a toy store literally about a mile or so down the street. And as I'm walking in, he was pulling in and yelled my name because I hadn't worked there in a few years because I had left. So I hadn't seen him. And sure enough, from that day on, we were going to, there's a big show here in Ohio called Toy-Hio.
Mm-hmm.
Vendors come and sell all kinds of toys and whatnot. It's big. So, we were going to those annually. And
Brad, when he was yelling your name, was like, "Hey, Brad!" It was like, "Brad, put that figure, get it out of your pocket."
No, he was just, "Hey, Brad." He had no idea what I was into or what I was there for. He had obviously been there before. I had not. So he was familiar with the joint. But where I live is literally like a mile down the street from Immortal Collections.
Okay. Big store.
And we met them also at the Intern for the day. But they're right down the street, and that's where that store is. It's literally right down the street.
Oh, no way.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
When they were talking, I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are literally like a mile or so from us." It was weird.
Man, that could be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Seems so handy.
Yeah, when those
you guys
go
meet
out on Legion Shop, I wanted to call them up and be like, "Hey, you got any extra ones painted on the side?"
You guys meet
down on my bike.
And how soon does the toy stuff come into up in discussion and start up?
Oh, immediately, because
We were in the toy store.
yeah, I mean, we walked in the toy store and he said, "Well, what are you collecting?" And at that time, it was GI Joes, the 3 3/4. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, and he goes, "Well, I got a whole bunch of them. I don't even play with them." He's like, "You can just have them." He's like, "I'm not."
Oh, wow.
displaying." And I thought that was a very nice gesture, and I didn't really think he was serious. But he's like, "Oh, come on over to the house, grab them, come on." And I thought
Well,
that
that's
was
a
very
friend
nice.
right there.
And he actually gave me some really cool stuff. I'm talking like Storm Shadow and Cobra Commander, and
Wow.
he gave me the GI Joe Falcon glider box. I've tried to find the glider, but even the box alone is a display piece, but it's also, you know, a worthy piece. He gave me some other little things. It was great. And I display everything he's given me. I've displayed, and but then I turned around and returned the favor and got his little pistol. He was missing his pistol from the Masters of the Universe Castle of Grayskull.
Oh, okay.
That everybody misses from that set.
That one piece that goes missing forever
Yeah,
from
a
every
little
set.
kid probably chewed on it
Sure.
or ate it.
Your mom vacuumed up.
Your mom vacuumed it up, yeah. So I got him that piece. He was like, "How'd you get that?" And I was like, "Man, I got some people, you know, that I was just trying to return the favor." But then from then on out, I mean, we were doing stuff and going places.
Nice.
And I had
That's
at that
cool.
point had no idea what Mythic Legions was. No idea. No idea.
So did you guys
Damn
discover Mythic together?
No, Mike
who-
was definitely ahead of me.
Yeah,
And that's
I found out about Mythic Legions. I was literally in bed with my girlfriend. We usually would go to bed.
Whoa. This is it's not a family show, Mike, but like, you know.
We would read and she would do crossword puzzles or something like this. And I came over the Masters of the Universe Classics Merman. And I'm a huge Merman fan. And I'm like, what the hell is this awesomeness? Because it's the old cross-cell art. And I'm like,
yeah,
I got to have one of these. So I got one of those and found out it was the 4 Horsemen, and one thing led to the other. Then I think I went to the Vaults of Grayskull, which is a website, and on the Vaults of Grayskull, he has a section called Mythic Legions. So I clicked that, and I saw these figures, and they blew me away. And I said, hey, what I'm going to do is just order one off eBay. I ordered the Skeleton Legion Builder 1.0. It had the painted neck peg, so it was from 1.0. And when I took it out of the mailer box, I'm holding it, and I'm like, this is the best action figure I've ever held in my hands. And then when I took it out of the package, it blew away everything. And I was like, I got to start getting this. So immediately I stopped collecting anything else and went to Mythic Legions.
Isn't that weird? Like, Keltis was I think the first figure I ever opened. And I got that from an in-stock sale. And it was the same thing. It's like the skeletons, man. There's something about having that, you know, Harryhausen skeleton in your hand, and it poses and it moves, and oh man, it was so cool. It's a great entry figure, the skeleton. I think it's just very impressive.
Oh, it is. And like I said, it just absolutely, it blew me away so much that I said, hey, I'm not collecting anything else unless it's, you know, a little something. Like, I tell you what, I have collected since then. Like, I have on pre-order the Mezco Predator because I want to try a Mezco figure. And I think it's a Mezco Alien.
Yeah, be careful.
Another rabbit hole.
Oh, no, trust me. It's all Mythic. I'm just doing this because I'm a big Predator and Alien fan. And
yeah.
That's all. But I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Brad, and he had come over and saw my figures, and he goes, man, these things are really cool. And I said, listen, an in-stock sale's coming up, and I need your help because I don't have Torgen Redfin. And it was the Siege and the Wasteland in-stock sale. And I said, listen, get on there, snag me a Torgen, and grab a figure for yourself. I'll give you the cash because it's going to go lickety-split, and I'll get the rest of the figures out of the way that I need. he ended up getting a Chronoff and a Purplore. And I said, dude, once they come in the mail, take them out, heat them up, and just swap parts. Just play with the two, swap parts between the two, and it'll be over. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he did, and he goes, hey, these things are phenomenal.
I must have every one.
No, he did not. He goes, these are phenomenal, but, you know, I'm collecting too much other stuff and all that. Then he bought the PowerCon, Drina and Lord de Gruel, and it was online because of COVID. And he got those in, and then it was like he was falling. You know, he got a little bit more, and then he's like, damn you, Michael. Damn you, Michael. Damn you, what did you do to me? And then he was all in, man. And what did it take? A couple months?
Yeah, because I feel like at one point it snowballed. It got all scary when every day Big Bad Toy Store was dropping figures.
Yes, you went
And
from
Mike
0
is
to
calling
60.
me, like almost. It seems like every day I get a call from Mike, dude. Oh my gosh, go get Fontes. There's one Fontes. You have to get him. And I'm like, I don't really want Fontes. Like, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Get Fontes. You just get him, and then you're gonna love him. And I'm like, okay. So I went on there, and I was like, okay, I got him. You know, I put in my pile.
At least you know your dealer.
And he came, and I'm like, dude, this guy is pretty cool. And he was like the first figure that then I realized that, so even if I don't like them by their looks on the pictures of Big Bad, that means nothing. It means absolutely nothing, because in reality, it when they come, like, I wasn't a big goblin guy, but when the goblins come, I'm like, wow, the goblins are kind of cool. I'm digging the goblins, you know. And
That's That's the way it goes, man. I was like, I'm gonna collect select races. I don't need vampires. I'm not into the vampires. I don't think of it. And then as soon as I got Carpathius or like one of the I was like, oh, I need all the vampires.
Yeah, I wasn't into the vampires or I really actually wasn't into the skeletons at first. I know Mike's a big skeleton guy, and he's big on the skeletons, and I'm like, I'm not big into them. But after getting and skeletons were some of the ones that I got.
Look at him! Come on, look at him!
Oh yeah, look at him! Look how beautiful!
Look at him!
Look at the structure! Look what Ag did, right, with all the little things on his head. Magnificent!
Look at that magnificent femur.
Yeah. Goddamn femur. It's not a femur, Daniel.
Where's my femur?
It's a tibia.
It's not a femur.
There's my femur.
It's a tibia. It's a femur.
Hey, now me and Mike did notice that the old version, version 1, I guess, of the skeleton, the paint tone was a little lighter.
That happens.
Yeah, than this one that we got recently. But I actually kind of like it. It looks darker. I kind of like the darkerness to it.
I don't have mine here. I was gonna take a look. I don't have one, but yeah, I mean, across the face, it's a little. It was definitely a different paint tone than the 2.0s. Those got a little more like yellowy, bony looking.
Yeah.
The skeleton soldier here.
Yeah,
I love this one. Oh my god, I love this figure so much.
Yeah, this was my. I got, like I said, I got Keltis first, and I got a 2.0 skeleton first before I ever got a 1.0 skeleton. And hello.
I wasn't into the 2.0 figures really well at first, but after the Exodus sale, stock sale, where we got into the Advent of the K-Hell.
Yeah.
That one where I was forced to buy these figures. I remember this was one of the figures that I got with Gadriel, and some other
Mhm.
females. I think Freya, and I got 6 females. I know in that I was so disappointed because I just wanted something that was a Grail or something that was old, and I got these. But once again, when they showed up, they were amazing.
Yeah.
And I totally fell in love with them. And then it got me liking 2.0s, even though they're a little harder to stand.
I find these guys pretty easy to stand. I mean, some of the female figures are a little tricky, but for some reason the skeletons, I don't know if it's the width of the feet or something like that, but they balance really well. I can get them in some
she hasn't been bad.
good dynamic poses without using stands or anything. So they've been pretty good. Yeah.
So Brad, when did you make the decision to say, all right, I'm in 100% and I want every one of them now?
Because Mike used to ask me that all the time, and I think I didn't want to tell him what I was really thinking. But I think deep down inside, secretly, it was always there. It was just secretly there. I just didn't want to admit that it was going to happen. But once I got about a dozen to 20 figures, I definitely figured that it was about time to. And I didn't think it was going to happen the way it did. It just seems like you join the call, you check eBay every day, you're checking Mercari every day, you're looking for the things that you want, and then these things start to pop up, and then you start to get deals or offers, and then you see great prices on the Cabal, and you just feel like you have to jump on. There were times where I felt like I jumped the gun and maybe I should have waited and been more patient, but that came into after year one of collecting.
You learn.
Yeah. So if people don't know, I mean, Brad has everything, right? You've got everything. Now you don't count if they're Aetheron's dozen. Do you have all the birds and everything?
Yeah, I got all the birds.
Oh my god! So you have everything.
I have all the goth birds.
got
like 2 scarabuses away from having all the scarabuses.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you decided, it went relatively quick, I think, for you.
Now the Seventh Kingdom, I did get a figure and I did open it. Exetheus, the champion Minotaur.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Beautiful figure. It's really awesome, but he is another one that's kind of hard to pose or keep standing. And now I wish I would have kept him in the non-collector friendly packaging.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I got him posed in there. He's because I like Minotaurs, so. Because Mike asked me if I was about to collect all those, and I go, I don't know. I go, the Minotaurs are cool. If I collect them, I don't know if I'd open them. I'd probably keep them.
Right.
Yeah,
that's huge, man.
Brad is definitely a beast when it comes to that, man. He knew he wanted him, and he searched out, and he got him.
I would, you know what? Now that I think about it, it probably happened after the birds, because I didn't want the birds. And then I got a bird, and then I wanted more birds, and then.
Well, do you remember the day I got Nemetis off of Travis Bowles, off of his store? And I said, man, I'm going to try a bird because Big Bad Toy Store, I've had Igalis on pre-order forever. And I got that bird in, and I'm like, oh, my God, are these things cool?
Yeah.
So I showed you, and it was done. It was over.
He got Nemetis, and then I got Nemetis, and then I'm like, okay, well, are they all cool like this? I'm like, are they all like this? So I wanted to get more, so I think I got a Gallus, and next thing I know, it was a spiral of birds, and I felt like I was like the bird master. I was like flocking. I was like, woohoo! All I wanted was birds. That's all I could do was just every day it was on eBay, like
dreaming of flying
birds, goth birds.
Bird is the word.
I could
try
to find a different way on these sites, but
that's crazy because you've been collecting these for a year at this point.
We're closing in on 2.
Oh, now 2. Okay, but when did you complete the line in your mind anyway? At least Mythic Legions, like within a year. Started.
I finally completed it before Christmas.
Oh, last year.
But yeah, when we were at Intern for the day, I needed 10.
Okay. Wow.
So I got
Jesus.
I got 10. I got my 10 Grail figures from Intern for the day.
God damn, man.
What was the final? What was the last piece you had to get?
The last three
Yeah, really.
was Ilgar, Thord, and Sir Galaron.
Okay. Wow.
And it
Wow.
was one of them things where I just happened to be up like 2 or 3 in the morning. I get a notification from eBay. It says that there's a Sir Galaron, and I'm like, "What? Are you serious?" I check this like every hour. Are you kidding me? Like I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And I go on there, and he was there.
Wow.
And I think
God for
I think he was 250.
tiny
I just
ladders.
said, whatever, I'm buying. And then I go, well, before I buy this, I go, let me see what this guy's got, the seller. Let me see what the seller's got otherwise. And that was one of those. Somebody put it up on the Cabal. I mean, this guy had every figure in the collection he was selling. And
There you go.
so
Ilgar, Thord, and Sir Galaron are going to be in an ASS. Sorry, bro.
yeah, they will. They will. And I will still vote for them. I'll still vote for them. Mike's like, well, now that you're done, you don't have to vote. And I'm like, no, I'm not an ass. You know, I'm still going to vote for the sweet figures that I want.
You can sell your votes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Trade them for
that is a
figures.
goddamn good idea. Arnold loves that idea.
God damn it, you're brilliant.
So now that you got them all, now you're getting into customizing and.
Yeah, I figure now is the point where it's like, you know, so there was a lot of stress relieved. I mean, as a collector, it's like when those 3 figures came in the mail, and I knew that I didn't have to search for anything else, and it was like, and I knew that I'll get some of these other figures again for $35 or whatever, and it's like, that's cool. You know, I want them more. I want more of them. You know,
Was it actually stress? Was there a lot of stress that you had when you didn't have?
There were times because I feel like I do so many searches and they're not there, and you're like, damn it, damn you.
Was your kid always going to Lauren?
I want Kabbalah prices. I need Kabbalah prices.
What's wrong with Daddy? Why is he so mad?
He's always angry. He's always
Can't
lashing
find his
out.
toys.
Brad, you're gonna feel empty until you start the double set. You're gonna have to start working on a second complete set.
What the hell is wrong with you?
In package?
You're gonna feel empty until you start that.
Yeah, Michael Xavier
the
got me
package.
thinking about the whole set in box because we've seen that at Intern for the day on the wall.
That did look nice up on the wall.
It did
That was
look
very
nice.
cool.
Now I'm thinking in my head, I can do that. I pretty much have. I think there's only like 3 or 4 figures that I have that don't have a box.
Lauren.
But oh my god, is she chiming in? You
Yeah.
have no idea.
No idea.
And I'm one of those guys. There's like 4 freaking huge ass totes filled with all those empty eggshells, all those cartons, all the extra heads are down there.
Yeah.
I have the space for it, so I go at this point until it becomes a problem, then I'll worry about
Well,
it.
this is, I mean, Joe is right. This is another deep rabbit hole here. Like once you start customizing and buying custom things and painting.
And you want to know what? My wife was really nice for Christmas. She got me a paint set, some acrylics,
Ah.
and got me some paint brushes, and I thought that was cool because
She really doesn't want you around, does she? She just doesn't want.
she's like, go.
Please stay in the basement.
Yeah, I definitely want to paint some wings and start doing some stuff for my birds.
Dude, it is a rabbit hole. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun. I think that that like makes the collection a little more personal, and I was gonna say like I still need 11 for the complete. I mean, I'm not counting the birds and everything, but for me to complete Mythic Legions 11. But I'm like, for me, it's like not the thrill of the hunt, but like trying to find that good deal. Do you feel like you got everything for a good price, or you just went nuts and like, fuck it, I need him, $500. Who cares? Give it to me.
Me and Mike are at Toy, Ohio, and it's funny because the few times we've been there, you've never seen Mythic Legions there, ever. And then I think the one year we walked in and there was like 1 Chronaw, and then somebody had a Decimus or something, Gothropolis. And this, like last time we went, you know, we're thinking, oh, we got $400 in our pocket, and we don't see anything that we want because it's not really mythic related or whatnot. So we're leaving.
Yeah.
And right as we're like turning around to leave, there's Romas from Columbus with all these freaking old Mythic Legion and Gothotropolis birds. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, Mike. And he's like, what? And there was a guy holding them, and I was just, it took everything in me to be patient and not be like, and get him out of the way.
Mike, do you have your sidearm on you?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was farther down the aisle, and when we were going there, I said, Brad, there's not going to be any mythics. If we run across one, we're lucky. And he went down the aisle. Roma was set up down the aisle. Now, I knew of Roma and that he sold Mythic Legions, but I didn't know who he was. So I didn't recognize him. And Brad walks up to the booth, and I'm kind of turning the corner, and he turns, looks at me, and he grabs one of the birds, or it might have been a Mythic Legion figure, and holds it up. You couldn't chisel the smile off of his face. He was that elated. And then I run over, and there was just a sea of old Mythic Legion.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. And for great prices.
Man.
Wow.
And I know, and I was so selfish because then when we got home, I'm like, I probably could have posted it on the Cabal, but I'm like, I spent all my money. I wouldn't have been able to get anything.
I'd love to help you out, but I'm literally broke. I have nothing.
Look, Cabalers, look at all this amazing stuff. I can't help
that's my dream, man, to walk into some just like local toy store and some guy's like, yeah, I got these Mythic Legions. I'm like, oh, I'll take those off your hands.
Yeah, because you don't see that around here. Like, there's a guy in
people know what they have.
Lima, Ohio. So that's about 50 minutes from us, or 50. So usually he gets the waves in. So when we see them in stores like that, it's like, wow, you see them on a peg. You're like, I can't believe I walked into a store and seen it on a peg. Like, this is amazing.
That's something I've never
There's a place
seen
outside of Cincy, I think, too.
Oh yeah,
carries them. Yeah.
I've never seen that, and I tell every store that I go into, I strike up a conversation with the owner, and I'm like, let me show you some pictures. Like, these things, you should get these things because these will sell like hotcakes, man. You won't have these on the shelf for very long. And they're like, what is that? Yeah. So Mike, so what does your collection consist of? Are you focusing on factions or types of figures?
I would like to get the whole collection.
You're going for everything.
24 away.
Oh, all right, you're close.
But I can't bring myself to pay some of the prices. So I've got to be patient. I've got to wait for these all-star waves.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So,
I've spent some money on a couple here and there. Like, I mean, when I had a shot at Otho, like, it was a decent price for what Otho's going. I'm like, I gotta have that. I gotta get it. But I like, for me, it's like the hunt. Like, you know what I mean? I'm willing to wait it out and see if I can find a good price on things. But it's getting harder and harder to find anything available. Like, I know what you're saying, Brad. Like, I did some searching today actually, and I set up some search. Saving some searches on eBay, and it's nothing. And when you even look at sold auctions, there's nothing. There's no Sir Ignatius. There's no, it's nothing.
Well, that's how Sir Galeron was. I was looking him up. I'm like, dude, only like one has sold in the last year. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's
like I'm never gonna get this figure. Like, I just figured and I do think he's a good candidate for the,
I think so too.
5.
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be great.
And like I said, I know Eric Miller wants one. Definitely. But he's a great figure. But yeah, I go when you're looking all the time, it does become a little stressful. When you can't find what the specific one that you're looking for.
Yeah.
But
then I look at all the ones that I have.
The fewer numbers, the worse it gets, because then
it's like, hey, when you only need. I can't imagine only needing 3 and like just like God, why can't I find these 3? So, Mike, are you customizing now?
Well, I'm popping and swapping right now. Now I have
Okay.
some customs that I need to paint up. I have some parts I need to paint. I just have to get there. You know, basically I've got to find time, because between working 40 hours a week for the sheriff's office, and then we're doing the show bi-weekly, and then with the writing, it's times, you know, you run out of time.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You're a big lore guy, and you're a big writer of bios, and I love that, like stories and bios. Like when I first got in the Cabal, like I started seeing people putting up the customs, and like I started doing this at one point, and I kind of got away from it. And I'm kind of thinking I got to get back to it. But just writing a story around either a figure or a scenario, and you write some epic stuff, man. So how did you get into that? Like, what drew you to that, to do that?
Well, I appreciate that. Well, the thing was Merman again. It's Eric Treadaway. He made that damn Merman, and you know, everything, you know, snowballed from there. So I'm a big Masters. My childhood was Masters of the Universe. The first, the 1982, the 8-back, the original 8 figures. That was my childhood. Those were my toys. Those figures. And if you guys remember, they came with 4 mini comics written by Donald Glut, and they were inked by Alfredo Alcala. And I loved those darn comic books so much that what I did is I went up to the attic and I found them stored away with my old toys, pulled them out, and I'm like, this is my story. It's the apocalyptic Eternia. It's not Filmation. You know, it's a dark, gritty story that probably wasn't for kids. And
those comic books were great. Those were the best. Yeah, those are great. Those things. Those were fantastic. So much better than the cartoon.
This book, by the way, it's like $20, and it's got all of the mini comics in it.
Is that what
this
that
is? Like the best deal. It is so good, and it's only like $20. It's a hardback.
I might have to get that
super
because
nice.
I was never into He-Man because of the cartoon.
In the toy room.
Wow.
This book is
cool,
awesome.
Man. I have to get that.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to finish Donald Glut's story, the mini comic story. And I said, I'm going to try to finish it off. So I wrote three extra mini comics, and my Bible for that writing is the original 4 mini comics. So one's entitled The Key of Grayskull. Then it goes into The Desolation of Grayskull. Then it goes into The Liberation of Grayskull. And the story goes full circle at the end, where the good guys defeat the bad guys. And that's the story I wanted, not the Filmation. And as writing, I would share it with my girlfriend, and she's like, this is really good. And I'm like, well, thank you. And she's like, you've got to keep on doing this. You've got to keep on doing this. So I would write more on Motu, about Motu. And about 6 months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to start writing about Mythic Legions, because this is what I collect. This is what I love. This is my hobby. So what I did is if everybody will tell you, if they know me, I am a huge Vetus and Mercurian fan, and I'm a huge Scapular and Skeleton fan. Love him. So I decided to write 2 stories based on those 2 characters. I'm just finishing up the Red Star Rising, which would be the Scapular story. I have 2 more chapters in that.
So good. So what you've put out 10? Is that right, Mike, on that?
What? It'll be a total of 13.
Oh, so, but there's been 11 that you've posted on Facebook, right? In the Cabal.
I have the last one done basically, but I've been so busy right now I haven't got it out. So once I finish that one, I will post it all up on the Cabal together. That way everybody can read it in one shot instead of reading it chapter by chapter. Then I'll go on to the fall of the Mercurians, which tells the Vetus backstory.
Nice.
I've got 2 more stories planned. One is around Pixis. I think I have that titled Redemption of the Fallen. And I have another story. I have all the notes put out for these stories. Savage, oh boy. I can't, it's a Kronos story, Chronon Atlas, about the wastelands. And God, I can't think of the title, Savage Nightmare is what that one will be entitled. So yeah, I really enjoy doing the bios too, because the bios are so easy. I can sit down for a couple hours and knock out a good bio, where if I'm sitting down and writing a chapter, it'll take a couple days and I have to go through like 5 revisions. And usually when I write out a chapter and I do 1 revision on it, I'll fire it to Nate so he can see it. And then what I'll do is I'll hit 3 more revisions on it. And usually that's the final copy, and I'll throw it to Nate just so he can see the process.
Yeah, it's really good. And Jay,
I
I
didn't
just
know you
saw
were
Jay
editing.
had a editing.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I barely need to, because they're so damn good. I might give in 1 cent instead of 2 cents, but they're so good. But like you said, Mike, that you're going to post them all up when they're complete. But you have 11 chapters in the Cabal right now. If you look them up, you can find them, Jay. So anybody wants to read them, go. I totally recommend them, man. They're spectacular.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I have no background with writing. In fact, I'm not a smart guy. I'm just, I guess I got street smarts or something like that. So you wouldn't think I would be good at writing, but I'm a big reader, and I love science fiction. I love action adventure. I love mystery novels and all that. And, you know, ever since I was in grade school, all the way up until probably like 4 years ago, man, I would read novels all the time. And when you do that, you pick up writing styles without even realizing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
And all that. And I think that's what helped me ultimately.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I loved when Nate, you did some imagery to go along with the story. That was cool, and I think you got to do more of that. I think it would be really cool to make that kind of a community challenge. You know what I mean? Like Dean Wright does a lot of very cinematic photography, and he did a whole comic book. He wrote this whole thing out. It was, in the style of a comic book too, not prose, like, and not more of a story like you're writing so much. It was a story, but it was drawn out in comic book form. But yeah, I'd love to see more of that stuff, man. More people get into that and kind of team up photographers like us, customizers, everybody, to come up with some of the characters that you're describing and things like that would be really cool, man. And it kind of happens organically on the Cabal. It's a great place, man. If you're not on the Cabal, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are or not, but get on there, man. It's a great group. It's a fantastic group.
The community and the community, and this community by far is the best. It's almost, I tell several people, I'm not going back to Legions Con as a vacation. It's a family reunion. So every year, because it's that kind of a community. Yeah. But in the community, you have a ton of customizers, and customizing thrives. Photography thrives, and the people who do it are awesome. More people getting into it. I guess with what I'm doing, I'm trying to encourage more people to write and all that. Because one thing I would love to do, is to sit back and go to a website where there's Mythic Legion, all about Mythic Legion fan fiction. And I can go there and go, oh my gosh, there's new fan fiction up, and I can just sit and read about the toy line I love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's I guess through my writing, since I put it on the Cabal, that's the main thing I want to do. I want to encourage people, you know, start writing about it and all that, because
it's fun, man. I mean, a couple of images that I did inspired story. Like when I'm sitting there doing the images, and I'm sure Nate, you're the same way. Like when you're putting these things together, you're thinking of the storyline that you're trying to create there, and some things come to mind. And on a few occasions, I've like gotten deep into like writing some prose to it.
Yeah,
but,
your stuff's been great when you've done that, Trevor. Really good.
And it's been fun, but it's like it's inspired by the pictures. I'd love to see you like. I mean, I love what you do. I'd love to see you like take either like, because I like the reverse of like Nate has taken some of your stories and illustrated them with photography. I'd love to say like pick some photography and like write a story around that photo. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like Carlos does some great images and stuff like that set up like just stories, like what is going on in this picture, you know what I mean, and write something to that. It'd be great.
Well, Mike, he did surprise me with one. He did go back and found one of my images.
Oh, he did that with one of yours.
It did inspire, right. So he wrote a story for it, and after I read that story, it inspired me to take another image. So it was
okay.
Sort
so
of
that's
kind
how
of
the
did a full
chain got
circle.
rolling.
It was really cool. Yeah. So
Nice,
we do hope to partner up and do some of that in the future. But yeah, like you said, Mike and Trevor, just encourage everybody to, however you want to dive deeper and get involved in this and just work together and collaborate. That's what it's all about.
There's so much creativity in that group, man. There's so many great people, and there's a lot of people just diving into stuff because, you know, there's encouragement. It's an encouraging group. And if you're into photography, I was just talking to Emil Wickman today, and he was asking me how to do some digital backdrops for photography. He wants to start doing some of that with his customs. And he's like, wow, this is not as easy as it looks. No, it's not. But it's great. I mean, like he's getting into that. Other people are getting into customs and stuff, and the writing is a killer thing too. Like I know Lexi Rose does some great stories around her pictures and stuff. She kind of combines the two. And Dean, it's great, man. It's a lot of fun. We are about 15 minutes from 11 o'clock, so want to try to get a few other questions in to you guys. So how did you guys? So you guys just your show, if anybody doesn't know, and I think a lot of people are here from the Cabal, but you're focusing more on the collectors and getting to know the collectors, which I love. Like really, just sitting down with a lot of different people, talking to them. How did you? Was Legions Weekend, Mythic Weekend, kind of the basis for that? Like, did you kind of talk about that weekend and decide to do this?
I think me and Mike kind of. It was funny because I think we wanted to do something before that. You know, we had stuff in mind, maybe a podcast or something, do something. And so, you know, things kind of, obviously at Intern for the Day, we were like, wow, it was, you know, we should do this, you know, it should be something, you know, and we were going to go in another format, and maybe one day we will, but this seems to work right now for us. So, and, you know, so that's what we're doing. Like I said, we got to meet so many cool fans, and just learning that we trying to help, you know, the rest of the community to learn as well.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic because it's fantastic. It's hard not to say fantastic, man.
Brilliant.
It's fantastic. That you're like bringing. That you're bringing. It's kind of like what happened that weekend. Like we all got to know different people and learn about people who were in these groups, and you saw their names and you saw their comments, and you're like, hey, thanks, man, whatever. But then you really get to know the person, you know what I mean? And this is great. Like you're really getting to know these people.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point with the show, because when Brad and I went out there to Mythic Weekend, we actually got to put faces with people we communicated with on the Cabal, and we got to meet them, actually physically meet them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're on the Cabal or whatever social media it is, you only get to see their avatar or a picture of their wife or kids or whatever, and what they post. So we wanted to do something to where we could bring the Cabal a little more closer together, where we can put fans on and then, oh my God, this guy I've been communicating with, this is him. You know, this is him on screen, and I'm getting to even know him better. And my ultimate goal, or Brad and I's ultimate goal, is to draw the community closer together and try to get these people that are in the Cabal, our friends, to go out to Mythic Weekend and then actually physically meet each other. Because if they do, it's just what a great time, what a great community. And
see what Mike's trying to say is we're like Marty McFly and Doc. We're trying to get my parents back together for the enchantment of the sea dance. We're trying to get we have all these
make
things
that magic happen again.
So Mike, why don't you tell everybody too what you guys have planned for the intern for a day right now? The way you're looking at that, I think is really cool. So share that.
Well, Brad and I discussed it. We are driving. We're 6 hours away. So we're driving out. We already got the hotel. We're there for 4 days. We come back on Sunday evening after the last day. But we have a friend here, and he actually lives down by me in the Canton area, Ryan Anthony. And I did a interview with his customs while Brad and I were doing our toy rooms, just to test out to see if we could do the show, make sure, we could talk on camera, stuff like that.
We're so dumb.
So basically,
you never know.
To come out with us, and he has his heart set on Intern for a Day. And there is because of what happened last year at Intern for a Day, everybody now wants a ton of people want to go now, and it looks like they're going to do a lottery system. So what we want to do is Brad and myself and Ryan, we want to put in for it, and then whoever gets it, we're going to give it to Ryan. We're going out for Intern for a Day, and if one of us is lucky and we can get it, Ryan gets it. He gets to go to Intern for a Day. And what Brad and I will do at the hotel, we're going to encourage all the old interns and anybody who wants to get there a day early, get there early. And we're going to have a party at the hotel, pool party, whatever. We're going to kick back and have a good time, man.
That's awesome. I just love, because what you were telling me is like, you guys got to experience last year. You know how great it is. So you're going to basically give up your spot if you win, let somebody else go and experience it. I think that's awesome.
You know what? We had such a good experience that we already had that experience. There's no reason why we should take that away from someone else. We want the other people who can go to have that same experience, because it is changing.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're thinking about doing a lottery next year. Because I know that part of it before had been part of the Kickstarter, the Forge Horsemen type of thing, where you could pay to be intern for an intern for a day. But it's great that other people are going to have a chance to do that without shelling out a ton of money. It's going to be great. And I think they discovered last year with the extra room there that it's still there's some logistics there in getting people through the studio and showing them the things that happen, but there's a lot more room there, you know what I mean? Even if you're just there for G-Con or something like that, would be kind of cool. So hopefully more people can get in there and have a chance to do it, because it's a fantastic experience, and it's only gotten better over the years.
It's not like me and Mike aren't going to stock the studio again like we did last time beforehand.
Right. Yeah, hint. So we have some plans that we want to make. We want to make the whole weekend fun. So
Oh God, it's going to be so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible.
Pablo's asking, how do you apply for the intern for a day? They haven't announced that yet, so
No, we don't know yet.
stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned for more info on that. But there'll be something coming soon.
Yeah.
So I want to wrap up with kind of copying something you do on your show. And you've already probably put this out there on the show. I know you have. I've heard you say it, but just to put you on the spot. We'll start with Mike. Favorite faction?
Oh, so okay. I'm sorry. Favorite faction would absolutely be Necronominus, with Sons of the Red Star being a close.
You are a skeleton guy. You're a skeleton guy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Least favorite figure?
Least favorite figure. I mean, that without a doubt, it is skinny little dwarf.
This is why I brought this up, because there's so many worse figures than that, man. You got to give her a chance. That's a good figure.
Trevor, I have her, and when you get her in hand, she's beautiful. Everything is beautiful in hand, but she's my worst figure.
Underneath the mask, Mike, she is magnificent, beautiful.
This is not a great figure.
Yeah.
I guess you're a Motu guy, so you may like her a little bit better, but I hate that blue. All right, Brad. Favorite faction?
House of the Noble Bear, damn you! House of the Noble Bear!
Damn you! It's a bear, goddammit!
It's a bear. I want to see cornballs.
Got big claws.
Bear.
Least favorite figure?
I guess Xylona?
Oh, you brought that up. I just saw that on the show. You brought that up, I think, with Noah or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say Xylona.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
It's a cool figure.
Yeah, but...
Or maybe I'm just pissed off that every time she drops her arrow inside my case, I'm like, little.
I will say that that's a tricky figure to deal with sometimes because of the weight of the
big
antlers on the top and the small hooves and the fact that the bow is like, it's tough to. She's got to be on a pin.
Pity committee.
Okay. All right, and that.
Yeah.
And what's your?
Well, actually, Ryan Anthony came over to my house to see all the figures, and he pointed out that I put on her. I used her. I thought it was a cape. He says it's not a cape.
Oh, it's a skirt. Yeah,
it's a skirt. I made it a cape. He goes, I don't know how you did that, and I go, well,
yeah, that's cool.
Made it a cape. I don't know. It's just
you do you. And what was your favorite figure if you had to just pick one?
Probably Asterion.
Really?
Asterion, or probably next in line would probably be Atlas.
Yeah, Atlas is cool.
Good picks,
Mike,
Noble Bear.
Favorite figure?
Favorite figure, either
have it or don't. Doesn't matter. Scapular. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm on the hunt for, man. I'm on the hunt for that one right now. Yeah. Want to get him for sure.
Who do you guys got coming next Tuesday? You'll be on, right? Who do you guys got in the lineup?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. I just had to try it once.
I think it's pronounced Donut or Donut.
Hedgehog.
Donut? Yeah.
Yeah, Hedgehog.
Oh, right on.
He's right here.
Nice.
Very cool.
It's going to be great, man.
It's me.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing his collection.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He's a super nice guy too, man. I met him at Legions.
We didn't know who he was. All of a sudden, he walked in like I don't know if it was Intern or G-Con, and he came in. He was all three-piece suited out. We thought he was somebody
Well,
some big wig there or something at first. We're like, who's this guy? But he came and sat next to us. We're like,
Well,
oh, he has to be somebody.
he was an intern for a day when I met him, and then the next day, I guess it was G-Con, he came in and he just gotten off of work, and he had his shirt and tie on.
Yeah, he was all dressed up. I said, damn, son.
That's gonna be great. I can't wait to see that. Super nice dude, man.
Awesome dude.
Super nice dude. Looking forward to that.
Me too.
So it's you're doing every other Tuesdays. So next week, put it on your calendar. What's great is it is in the Cabal, so you can see when it comes up, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So, it's fantastic. Like, you're gonna meet the people who are there with you, members of the Cabal, right in the Cabal. It's fantastic.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Great format.
This is magnificent.
It's very hard to stop doing that. I was working on that all day, and I was doing it all day in the car the entire time. Yeah,
I do it all the time. I'm a big Arnold lover. I got a lot of Arnold figures around. So
did you get that?
I would never have guessed that.
The Mayfex one. Did you see that one?
I did.
And
I just got my first Mayfex figure, or got RoboCop.
Yeah.
I'm liking them.
Mm-hmm.
Be gentle.
I didn't realize they're like what? They're actually 6 inches. They're about an inch shorter than like the NECA version.
Yeah, which are about like 6.5.
They're great with my G.I. Joe figures, my classifieds.
That one looks really, really good. What else do you guys collect? Do you guys collect anything else?
I collect a lot of NECA.
You do?
NECA stuff.
Okay.
So
Mike, do you
G.I.
collect
Joe,
any of the Alien NECA stuff?
Mike does.
I got a couple of the NECAs, and I don't care for them because they're so fragile.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't dive into that. Like I said, Mythic really pulled me into their wormhole. And now what I do have down in the toy room, I have a lot of vintage Star Wars. I have some Black Series.
Okay.
I have the original 1982 Motu, the cross-sell art, those 8 figures. I have them in the classics. And then I have the original figures from 1982.
Cool.
I also have the classics, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain. I have some Transformers stuff too. But I don't actually collect those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Brad, you got the flag, right? Like, is that like sitting right in front of you?
I'm looking right at it. Yeah.
You got a massive Joe collection. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I seen a guy, he had like 50 shipwrecks, G.I. Joe shipwrecks, he's the little sailor guy. If you're not into G.I. Joe. But I see he had 50 on his flag, and I thought it was really cool. So then it became like a competition between me and him. And then after a while, it was like when I started closing in, I'm like, oh, he's got it now, dude. And he asked me how many I had, and I think at that time I was up to 70, but I think I'm like one away, or I actually have 100 shipwrecks.
Wow.
But they look great on the flag because they all look like little Navy sailors.
Yeah.
I have them all doing different stuff. So
70 of those guys fit on the flag. I got to see that thing in person, man. I've never seen it in person.
Yeah,
that's a lot of semen, Brad.
It's a whole lot of semen.
Had to go there. Sorry. Low hanging fruit. Had to grab it.
I left it out there.
You did.
All right.
I did.
And on that,
I definitely like Joe's, but NECA, I
on
that. A lot of NECA.
We got to get to the chopper.
Yes, I got all the NECA Arnold.
Tell you guys, I got to tell you, Brad is a man of many voices. Okay.
Yes. 8. Let's hear what else.
So, we're see on the show, man. He'll start releasing the voices.
All right.
I know. I should get out the dark side is strong with you. It is.
Oh, nice. All right, this is more of a reason to tune into the show now. If we get extra voices, that'd be fantastic.
I'll have to throw some other stuff in there, huh?
There you go.
Yep. Sean Connery head. I'll have to work on my Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean Connery, yeah. Miss Moneypenny. Yeah. Got her in my sight.
Lovely party. Pretty I wasn't invited.
Oh, oh my God! Don't ever have me on your show. This is all we will do. This is we'll just do voices. guys, thank you very much for coming on, man. This was great. It was a lot
That's
of fun.
awesome.
Good to get to
A lot
know
of
you
fun,
guys
dudes.
a little bit more, and loving the show. Go check it out. Join the Cabal if you're not on the Cabal. I don't know what you're doing here. You got to be on the Cabal. It's the place to be. And these guys, it's Legions Lair, not to be confused with Legions. No.
Or
No,
Dorclair.
it's Legions Lair. We got Legions Lair. We got Legions Cast. We got Legions Lounge. We got Mythic Customs. Which I told Jeremy, he's like very disappointed that he called it Mythic because now we've got Cosmic Legions. I'm like, dude, you're the only one that stands out now because you're the only one that's not using Legions in your name. So,
Right.
good call.
He's the OG.
Exactly. All right. You guys can be found on Facebook and the Cabal. Bill, Dorclair, what do you got coming up for Dorclair? What do you got? You got some more
I got another
swaps?
kit bash video. Probably coming out Wednesday.
Sweet.
Oh,
Looking
yeah.
forward to that. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Can
Nate,
I,
what do you got? What do you got cooking photo wise?
We just wrapped up our Myth and Fantasy Toy Pick Chapter 1, which was really three picks within that first chapter. We're taking a week off, and we're starting Chapter 2 in 2 weeks, which continues the story. So in between then, I might kind of do some other picks besides Mythics, kind of mix it up a little bit. And
Well, I love
I got the
use
new
of color
Conan in.
trades. That was great. Oh, you got Conan? Which Conan? You got Mezco?
I got the
Not that
Mezco
Conan.
Conans. I got him. Yes. So I can't wait to take some more pics of him. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Did you get your Wolfman yet?
I did. You know what, you guys? I got him a week ago today, and I opened him about an hour ago. Yeah. So I can't wait to get him in front of the camera too. Yeah, he's badass.
I'm working on a picture with that right now. It's
he's
tricky.
freaking massive.
Tricky. Yeah, for sure. All right. You can catch us every other Monday right here on Fridays, every other Friday, which would have been the past Friday. So back with I Have Watu and Capes and Rifles. We
Great
talk
show.
about 1/6 stuff. And, subscribe, hit the alarm bell so you can be notified because we've got a crazy schedule, so you know when things are on. And if you leave a comment now, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're giving away a LoomCube light kit, $250 value. So if you're into photography or if you're just thinking about it, it's a great thing. Just leave a comment. Make sure you're subscribed. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Right, boys?
nice. Hey,
Sounds good. Thanks for joining,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, everybody
See
in
you,
the
Bill.
chat. Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
Bye,
guys,
everybody.
Good night.
Cabal above all.
Woo.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.